But that's not going to stop me from getting involved in the fun. So, yeah, just kicking it. I'm sure it's going to send out notifications to people, letting the world know. And for those that are going to tune in after this is all said and done, I'll go ahead and just leave the camera right there, actually. We're making a coffee. I'm going to let the people know that we're live. Hopefully, you can freaking hear me with this mic. I was trying to do research into it to see if it would work, and I was getting very mixed results. So, yeah, let me put up an Instagram story. Let people know that I exist and that I am indeed live. So, we're going to get started. This has the wrong picture. This iPad, it's showing two different pictures. I have this. You see that photo? What's up with that? What's going on there? So, whatever. Instagram is very buggy. I'm not a big fan of the app, to be completely honest with you. Just gonna put up a quick Instagram story. You're gonna see the behind the scenes of this whole content creator thing. Yo, I'm live on YouTube, so the link is above. Join me for the extravaganza of live streaming. Now people can show love by leaving a comment. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so essentially, with this whole creator office hours thing, it's mostly just to be a space to, just for content creators to kick it. I know that it gets kind of lonely being a content creator because, especially like here in St. Louis, like I'm based out of the Midwest, there aren't a lot of people doing this whole YouTube thing. There aren't a lot of people doing this. So it's kind of hard to get connected with the community per se because there aren't very many of us doing this. So, yeah, that's kind of the general gist of it. Ah, here we go. It does say I'm live. We'll share this. Copy link, share. We're going to send this to people. I forgot to do this beforehand, but we'll get there. I'm just going to start sending it around. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we got anybody in the chat so far? What's good? What's happening? It's one of them days. I'm gonna put up like a picture or something on Instagram. Let's just put up a vibes image or something like that. I have a whole folder called vibes on my phone. I have a lot of, or like on my Apple devices, I have folders dedicated to different things. Like I have a folder for like Instagram story backgrounds. I have a folder for like general YouTube B-roll. I have a folder for so many different things. But before I let the Instagram people know that I am live, why don't we go ahead and get started with this? Oh, we got a few people in the live. What's up? Welcome to Content Creator Hours, Office Hours. I'm gonna start by making myself a coffee. So today I have a double espresso, and I always start my day around like 9, 10 o'clock with a coffee because I've grown to like it because I have the weirdest sleep schedule ever. So now I need to caffeinate at strange times. But, oh, yeah, see, that was a complete blunder. That's disgusting. And I don't even have a napkin nearby. So it missed the camera, though. The camera's barely off screen, but we'll just. Oh, wait, no, there's emergency little paper towel here. We'll just work with that. But yeah, today I got a double espresso because I fly out to Miami tomorrow for a brand trip, which I am not allowed to disclose the details of that just yet. So you'll see stuff like I'm posting Instagram stories and stuff. So over on my IG, I'll be posting a little bit of the behind the scenes and like the real time stuff. But then there will be a couple videos that'll be produced from this. So, and it's gonna be kind of along the same lines of what I've been doing lately, which I've been doing a lot more like content creator education stuff. So I really just want to be the fun teacher of content creation because like if I can do this crap, anyone can. I just it just started as a hobby and just became a thing. So with this double espresso, I have oat milk. And yeah, I was actually supposed to do this live yesterday, but the problem is I got sick, and my girlfriend's a teacher. She's around kids and all the germs. So I've been trying my best to avoid this stuff. All right, I've been trying my best, but the problem is, I caught it. She was sick all last week. I was like, yo, I'm chilling. I'm feeling great. Then I started to feel a little sick on like Monday, and I had like 2 shoots that day. They were both outside. And to be honest, it was here in St. Louis, it was like 20 degrees. And then now it's in single digits right now, actually. It's 7 right now. And there's just a bunch of snow on the ground. So the snow finally got up to me. The cold got to me. And now I'm here. So kind of crappy. But yeah, we're here. We're here. We're chilling. And now I'm just trying to make it through the next couple days until I can get there. So cheers to that. This really mixed a little too well for my liking. I kind of wanted it to stay a little more like, you know, pretty latte looking. But no, it's literally, this is actually a mocha, to be honest with you. There's actually just, I think I've imbalanced the milk a little too much. But it is what it is. So yeah, essentially what this creator office hours thing is going to be is we're going to be just kicking it, chilling, and we're going to be just having an open space for content creators to come kick it and chill. So that's what it is. I can give some behind the scenes on some of the YouTube videos that I've made recently. Like I put out the video last week about the Porsche video. That was a lot of fun for me to make because I used to work there, which I feel like I say a little too much, but for people that don't know who I am, I didn't go to school for any of this video production stuff and somehow ended up with a job with Porsche. So because of that, I had to I taught myself how to do videos. I actually don't have a phone tripod. I'm actually using my camera. I have a small rig attachment that's a phone tripod that's currently attached to my other camera. But I didn't go to school for this stuff. So I just try to share what I've learned so that other people can do this stuff too, because it's really not like anything crazy. It's not anything super ridiculous. It's mostly just about applying yourself. That's essentially what it is. Not even kidding. So what I did is I just started going up to the dealership and I just started taking pictures of cars. I was like, let me just get practice in. Let me just start showing my face and show the people what's up. And then a few months after that, excuse me, a few months after that, that's whenever they called me and they were like, yo, so like, we've seen the stuff you've been sharing. We've seen the stuff you've been posting. So how would you feel about like joining the team potentially? And I'm like, yeah, I would love to do that. So while I was there, I definitely learned how to do more stuff. I learned how to do more editing styles, and I really just pushed myself to do better for content creation and like figure out how to shoot cars, like what tools I really needed. So whenever I was making that video, I just put out kind of like teaching people how to shoot cars and like how I got the job with Porsche and like those skills that got me to that place. I was really trying to think of like what would benefit for you and like what is, well, I don't know where all this cat hair came from. What would help you really apply yourself to get the skills to do this whole thing? Because yeah, I mean, I'm self-taught. I went to YouTube University. My degree is in graphic design. I don't do this stuff. I didn't learn this stuff in school. The closest I got to a camera in a class in college was literally, it was like a 3D design project, and there was like a little camera like this. And not even like this, it was like a little point and shoot from like 2006. And it was like putting it in one of those little display booths and taking pictures of it. That was the closest I got to a camera. I learned how to edit on my own. I learned how to shoot on my own. It was insane. It was insane. So yeah, that's kind of, I just wanted to provide something to kind of help people learn how to do video production and how to get this stuff going. But yeah, the goal of this series, I'm not, you know, I'm gonna do bigger and better things for the upcoming ones. I'm just sick right now, but I have to stick to my word and I want to stay consistent with doing things like this. So I have like a couple different concepts planned for the coming weeks where I would like to show you guys kind of like the editing process. Like maybe I'll give you guys a sneak preview into like videos I'm gonna be producing. I'm gonna show you guys more behind the scenes because I know that I do some of this stuff on the podcast because I have a podcast called This Isn't My Degree because I didn't go to school for this. But I want to start showing you guys on this channel more of the behind the scenes of the content creation process and the behind the scenes of like this stuff, because low key I'm trying to jump shit from Instagram, because if you don't know the story of kind of how this channel even got started, because it might sound crazy that I've been making videos for almost 10 years now. Um, I've been uploading to YouTube for almost 10 years. This December will be 10 years on YouTube. So I started out as more of like a variety vlogger. It was just me in college having fun with my buddies, and we would just make random videos. Some of them are still public actually, because I feel like you got to see the progression of like where I came from. But that was kind of the beginning. And then once I moved back to St. Louis after college, I started to make St. Louis vlogs. Like, because my goal was to be like the Peter McKinnon and the Casey Neistat of St. Louis. And some of those stuff I've left up public because I don't, now that I'm in a different niche, I don't want to confuse people that are finding this channel for the first time. I don't want them to be like, yo, like, whatever happened to your St. Louis stuff, which I still get questions about that to this day. But I made St. Louis videos, and it was cool. It was a great era. It was a great time. But I don't do that stuff anymore. And on Instagram, I kind of built my audience around the St. Louis content creation stuff, because making stuff on Instagram is a lot lower of a lift and a lot lower of an investment than doing stuff on YouTube, because YouTube long form, bro, if I showed you some of these timelines, actually, why not? Why don't I show you some of these timelines? They are way more complicated than the ones that are on whatchamacallit, on Instagram. Because Instagram, I can just make a reel and it's like, cool, that's my life, that's my day. But when it comes to where are my timeline photos, I have them, I promise. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just need, oh wait, here we go. Like this is the one for Portia. This is my this is my timeline for Portia. You can see, like, I'll even zoom in a little bit. You could see how many layers of not just like audio, but like adjustment layers and like the photos, the text templates, stuff like that. You can see all of this stuff that went into that video. I want to show more stuff like that. I want to show you guys live streams of like editing and all that kind of stuff. Because really, I just want people to come kick it, bro. That's the whole goal of this thing, is just come kick it. Just come chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to have anything super serious. But at the same time, I want this to be something that like provides value, because yeah, the podcast, well, I'm all over the place. On Instagram, yeah, people know me for like the St. Louis stuff. So now that I've moved into this different niche, it's been a struggle to move on from being known as the St. Louis YouTuber. Which, if people know me as that, that's fine. I can't really do anything about it. But I'm trying to move on to something else. I'm trying to be the fun teacher of content creation. I'm trying to teach people how to do videos, how to do video production. You know what I'm saying? Catching my drift. So yeah, that's kind of the general gist of things. Let me know if you can even hear me, because I've been live for 13 minutes, and I don't even know if this mic is going through. Hello, I am from St. Louis, Missouri. It's like dead center in the middle of the United States. It's, if you know the iconic arch, the Gateway Arch, that's where I'm located. It's, the arch is like right over there. So it's cool. That's cool. I like it here. Don't get me wrong. It's just very much so behind the times in terms of content creation. And like for stuff like this, it's behind. So I don't know. It's an interesting place to be. But being a Midwest city, there's a great food scene here. There's a lot of free things to do. Honestly, if you're like a young professional, it is a pretty good place to be. So yeah, it's a pretty neat spot. Okay, over in Russia, I'm a little bit far away from there. But it's cool that you're tuning in. What is the weather like there? Because it's freezing here. We have like just a ton of snow on the ground, and it is, what is the temperature right now? I don't even know. It's very cold today. Let me see. It's freezing. Yeah, it's currently negative 14 degrees Celsius. It's cold. It's very cold. And I'm still drinking an iced latte. I know I get a lot of judgment for this, that I drink iced coffees year round. And I haven't even taken a sip of this yet, now that I think about it. But no, I drink iced coffees year round because I am a firm believer that it's just good. Ooh, I nailed this one. This is a good one. But yeah, I drink iced lattes year round. I drink all this stuff. Minus 20? Minus 20? I'm not going to complain ever again. I will never complain ever again. Never. You know what? Now this is warm. I am in a t-shirt though, so I do have just sleeves on. But yeah, no, I still, doesn't matter what it is. Even if it was minus 20 here, I'd still be drinking an iced coffee. It's, I don't know. I just am one of those people, I guess. I sometimes drink a hot coffee, sometimes, but not often. Like the other day I had one, but that's because I was kind of cold. I was like, I could use a warm pick-me-up. Warm coffee's like a nice hug. But this, I drink coffee as like a refreshment, not just like a, you know. But this is good. For those that missed this, I made a double espresso shot, and I believe the beans are from, I want to say these are from Brazil. I can't remember which ones I used today, but I always make myself with oat milk because I'm lactose intolerant. So I go with oat milk. Plus, even when I do try to make the lattes with milk, for some reason oat milk just kind of makes it taste better in my opinion. Like the oat milk lets the flavor pass through a little better, but it also makes the coffee itself, the latte I should say, lighter and fluffier, in my opinion. Everybody's gonna have a different thought process on that, but my latest obsession off camera has been like making coffees. I feel like that's just the character arc of somebody with an art degree, low key. I feel like that's just something that we end up doing inevitably. Like I avoided it for this long because I was like, you know what? No, I'm never gonna become like a barista in my lifetime. I will avoid that stereotype. Nope, nope. I have not avoided the stereotype of having an art degree and making coffee and learning how to do this stuff. Like I make my own syrups. Like my latest craze is like a cookie butter latte that I make the cookie butter syrup with, and I use like the Biscoff. I do a lot of different stuff. I make my own mocha syrups. Yeah, but yes, for those passing through, a kind of refresher on like what this live is. Content creator office hours. I just want this to be a place to just come kick it, come chill. There will probably be days where I do like not like co-working. I guess it is kind of like co-working, but like I'll be doing like live streams, like showing you guys editing and like showing you guys that kind of stuff. Kind of walking you through some of the uploads. Kind of like to be the side piece of the podcast. Which the podcast, This Isn't My Degree, is something you should definitely check out. I love my little podcast. It's been a lot of fun. Essentially on the podcast, I go and I invite creators, I invite influencers, or just like creative people onto the podcast, and we just kind of have casual conversations. That's the whole general gist of the show. So it's a lot of fun. I've learned a lot of things because I've had creators on there. You know what's crazy? I have Do Not Disturb on. I have Do Not Disturb on. Yet somehow a phone call made it through. I can't stand how with Apple they have decided to make Do Not Disturb optional. Bro, then what's the point of it? Like, I don't know. That just kind of irritates me. That irritates me. I wonder if y'all could even see me because I couldn't even see myself. And the time stopped, and now it just completely reset, which is crazy because it went from like 17 minutes to 20 minutes. That's insane. But I hate how I hate that update that made Do Not Disturb optional. That stuff made me so mad because okay, I have like different Do Not Disturb modes now where I have, the normal one that's like, oh, just don't bother me, oh, whatever. Then I have work where that's like, okay, I need to focus and I need to like lock in and I need to do whatever it is I'm doing. Then I have like podcast, which is like absolutely nothing gets through because like I'm filming or like I'm doing the share screen and stuff, and like I want nothing to get through. Yet somehow things still get through and disrupt the live stream. You know how frustrating that is? Had that Do Not Disturb is optional now. Is that still an Android problem, or is that ever an Android problem? Because I've debated switching back. I've debated. I've thought about it. Thought about switching back. Because that new Galaxy looks nice. Not gonna lie. And I before iPhone, I switched to iPhone whenever it was iPhone 11. So I've had Android all the way up to that point. So I've had iPhone from 11 to 16 now. So hopefully somebody in the chat that has an Android, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know what you guys are thinking, and give me the feedback on if it's actually worth switching or not, because I'm thinking about it. I'm debating. This is your opportunity to change my mind. Change my mind. Tell me what's up, because I don't know. It could happen. Yeah, so. Yeah, also, while you're in the chat, tell me things that you want to see on these live streams, because I've been doing a lot of different types of content. I've been doing a lot of like I talk about the content creator education, teaching you guys how to do video and photo. But I also do like some random things like the TikTok shop tech product reviews, or like, things like that. Is that stuff that you want to see? Is that stuff that you don't care to see? Like, I want to make this as fun and as valuable as possible, especially since this is the pilot episode of the live stream. Been live for 23 minutes. I've been yapping for 23 minutes without caffeine, mind you. I have not been drinking this. You've seen the whole time. I have not been drinking, and you can see that it's visibly still full. What is happening to me? Do I need to not rely on caffeine anymore? Maybe this is just a placebo. Am I going through a crisis right now, figuring this out? I don't know. But the double espresso is really good. Again, I'll give you guys a refresher. I believe the beans from today are from Brazil. I'll try to make a different coffee for each episode, so that way I can bring a variety of things and show you all the crap that I'm working on. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, another latest obsession in terms of content creation is this little S9. This is the camera. Oh, wow. You know what? Actually, people that know, this isn't if you know, if you watch the video, this was the replacement for the Leica Q2. And if I held this in front of a Leica user's face, they'd probably try to smite me because the thing I like about the Q2 is the pictures are obviously beautiful. The lens is beautiful. All that stuff is great. But the thing about the S9 is I got me a flippy screen. See that? Got me a flippy screen. On top of having a flippy screen, it also doesn't have a viewfinder. There's no viewfinder. And I think that alone would just make Leica users want to just like punch me, like just drop me off a cliff or something, because Yeah, upon first glance, you'd probably be like, why would I want this? But the thing that I love about this, the thing that I love about the S9 here is there's an 18 mil lens on it. It's an 18 mil 1.8, and it's just wide angle. It's so nice. I filmed most of my recent content was actually filmed on that camera. The Porsche video was filmed on it. What else have I even published recently? I've been like going so crazy with just trying to publish videos consistently that I can't even remember what I've been putting out there for the world to see. Um, yeah, I've got The Secrets of Shooting Cars. That was shot with this camera. Are You Destined to Make It? That was a very experimental video. And I don't know. I really liked it, but also filmed with this camera. The I regret buying a $5,000 Leica camera, filmed with this camera. How to build your YouTube studio, that was filmed with the GH6. The TikTok band video, that was filmed with this. And I don't even think I had it before then, to be honest. I've only had it for a few videos. So, but yes, this little baby camera is what I've been using to film a lot of my recent content. It's this big. This is a full frame camera, by the way. This is full frame. Um, it's full frame. I can even show you. Full frame. It's full frame camera. It's kind of insane in this little body, but the only thing I don't like about it compared to like my GH6 or the S5 II is it doesn't have fans in it. So this can overheat. It hasn't overheated for me yet. I've used this to film podcasts. Like it's filmed for like an hour, 15 hour, 30 minutes before. Hasn't overheated. Knock on wood. I don't even have wood near me. This is fake wood. That'll do. It's fake wood. It'll do. Yeah. So this little thing has been a great tool. And if you're looking for your first camera, TBH, use your phone. Use your phone. Use your phone until you feel like you've used your phone for everything it can do. Seriously. So, like, use your phone until you've realized, okay, I've maxed out what I can do with this. Which phones are super capable nowadays. Most of them record at minimum like 4K 60. They've got good stabilization, so you could run around and do backflips and crap and still get stable footage. And then just get like a microphone like this. Get like a little DJI. These are the minis. I used to have they come in a little case. It's literally this big. But I used to have the like bigger ones, the first gens, and I use those for commercial work because they have like the little lav stuff. But these are just so much more convenient, and they sound good. Like for what they are, they sound good. And I think you can hit like I forget which button it is. I'm not going to do it because I'm live and I'm not trying to be that guy that blunders that bad. But if you hit a button on here, it does like a super noise cancellation mode. And I don't know if it's like AI or whatever, but it really makes things clear. And like even when it's super loud and noisy out, you can make yourself crisp and good. Yeah. I know at the beginning of the live I said I was sick, but to be honest with you, I think it's clear that I'm on the upswing with this. I was like, it wasn't like the flu, it was like the head cold, and I had like a sore throat, like the congestion in the head pressure. But I think I'm feeling better. I mean, I haven't even drank the coffee, dude. The whole purpose is to sit here and chill and kick it with y'all and have a freaking coffee, and I'm not even drinking it. It's good though. Again, the beans are sourced from Brazil. We used the Oatly Barista Blend oat milk, and we made a fantastic latte this morning. It's currently 10:33 in Central Time Zone. We're based in St. Louis, Missouri, the one with the Gateway Arch. If you don't know what the arch is, I don't know what to tell you. That's the biggest arch in the world. And I think if you saw the St. Louis skyline, you'd know. You'd know. Like it would make sense. But low key, I think if you took the arch away from the skyline, I think St. Louis's skyline is pretty forgettable. Because then it could look like, I don't know, it could look like Memphis. It could look like Tulsa. I don't know. It would look like just another skyline, honestly. The arch is really what makes it like really good. But that's St. Louis for you. It's got the half of McDonald's logo with no color. That is a dang good latte. I really pride myself in doing this because I'm not trying to do all this like, oh, I'm gonna go, to coffee shops every single day because I used to be really bad about that. I don't know about y'all, but that I was really bad about doing that for a while. And even though I love supporting local business, it's not sustainable to buy like a $7 coffee every day. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I'm not doing so great. But yeah, so I learned how to make my own at home, and now I have the option of doing so. There's still mornings though that I'll go to a local coffee shop, like I'll go to Caldi's, or I'll go to Coma Coffee, or I'll go to Comet Coffee, or I'll go to, like Protagonist. I'll go somewhere like that. But yeah, we've had a lot of coffee shops close. Like Quarrelsome was a great one here in St. Louis. I don't know. Do y'all drink coffee? I don't even know if y'all do this. I don't even know if y'all care, but I think it's an acquired taste for sure. So now that we've hit the 30-minute mark, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. So if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment. Check out some of the other videos on the channel. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know what you want to see from this live stream series because, excuse me. Yeah, see, now this is my body telling me, yo, you're sick. You fly out tomorrow. You need to get as good as you can, as better as you can before you do this. And now there are sirens. But then again, that's just city life. I just need to get as better as possible. So let me know what you want to see from the live streams. Let me know what you want to see from future content also. And yeah. Oh, you know what? Now that we got more people popping in, I'm actually going to stick around for a little longer. I'm going to stick it out. I just needed a reset. But yeah, iced coffee. Listen, like I said, like I was saying earlier, it may be single digits in Fahrenheit and it may be, what is it, minus 13 or something in Celsius. Hold on, I did this calculation earlier because I recognize that not everyone uses Fahrenheit and that we're unique in that aspect in the US. I try to be worldly, okay? We got global people in here. Yeah, it's minus 13.8 here. It's cold. And I'm still drinking an iced coffee. Oh no. I'm coughing. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. If I just tell myself I'm fine, I'm gonna be fine. It's because I didn't drink the coffee. See, I'm better now. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what sickness we're talking about. No, there's a lot of stuff going around right now though. You got like the flu, you got the freaking, what is it? The one that makes you like nauseous, that one. There's a lot of crap going around right now. So tried my best not to catch anything, and I think I just have a head cold. I probably sound a little nasally. Again, if this mic is even working. I've been live for 30 minutes, and I'm assuming it's working. I'm assuming it is, but it's just with these lav mics and live streams, sometimes they like to goof up. Sometimes they like to be all messy and not in sync with one another. So yeah, but this is the pilot episode of the live stream. So we're doing that. This little camera's so fun, bro. I don't even think there's battery in here. There's not. I'm sitting here thinking, wow, this would be a fantastic opportunity to show that off. And naturally, there's no battery in it. But yeah, I would say it's a lot of fun to use though. This is what I'm going to be using on the trip this weekend. If you're just now joining, this weekend is going to be, what is this? What is going on? I'm going out of town this weekend, and it's gonna be using this camera. This will be my main rig. So yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be nice and fun, but I don't know. I can't disclose too much. There will be 2 long form videos coming from it. The 2 really good ones. I have the storyboards ready to go right here. I use an iPad to storyboard my crap. It's here. So I just wish I could say more right now. If you tune in to Instagram, you'll get previews of it starting tomorrow, actually. This week flew by. Whenever you're sick, time just flies by because I'm used to just not slowing down. I'm used to just going. Like, I don't know what rest is. I don't know what taking time off is. I don't know what a vacation is. It's kind of toxic. It's kind of unhealthy, but I don't know what it is. Like whenever I say I'm going out of town, it's for a shoot. I don't remember. Well, no, the last time I went out of town for a vacation was Chicago. So that's my life. Other than that, yeah, I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up. So yes. Oh yeah. Okay. I see. What does it take, real quick, on using action cameras for content creation? So I really think it depends. Like, I really think it depends. Because a lot of them, what you have to think about, like, what what makes an action camera an action camera. And I would say it's stabilization. Most of the time they have like some really great video quality, but like it might not be the most like workable in post production. I know a lot of the action cameras, like the DJI action cameras and the what's the other one? Oh my God, like the Insta360s. They have better, like they're getting better at having more flexible footage in post, so you can like color grade, you can stabilize better. Like they're getting better about that, but like I would say definitely if you're not doing like action sports, if you're not doing things that require that stuff, um, yeah, I would say stick with something that's like more traditional mirrorless. Like I personally, again, I really like the S9 as like a very good like step up from a phone because this is a full frame camera. I mean, I have the 18 mil on here, but there are a bunch of prime lenses that are also like super cost effective. And they all have really good aperture. So, and this Panasonic stabilization is bonkers. It's almost like a cheat code. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents on the matter. Any people in the media space you like? There are quite a few creators that I've been like keeping up with recently. Hold on. Let me pull up my YouTube app on the iPad. I don't know why Face ID is taking its sweet time working. But yeah, what I've been trying to do on YouTube is I've been trying to follow more creators that they're outside of what I typically watch. And also like they're in a similar niche. I mean, there are the big ones, of course, like the first ones that pop up on my subscription page are like Full-Time Filmmaker, Potato Jet. I like Full-Time Filmmaker for like the more traditional stuff, learning like the more technical side of like lighting and audio and making all the cool stuff. Because my full-time thing is freelance videography and video production. So it's nice to keep up and know. But Potato Jet, I like the gear reviews because sometimes I'll just be discovering things that like I don't even know it exists. Or like if there's a new piece of gear that comes out, I can see like his way of presenting the information is always like entertaining to me. It's like not your typical like, even though I do love like other creators that like do the more sit down, like let's read the spec sheet and go over some of this stuff. I don't know, that's just my way of being entertained and informed. I like edutainment. That's why I try to create edutainment. But then let's look at a few other creators. These are all out of order. This is no bueno. Um, yeah, I mean, there's just like different. Gerald Undone, another great one. Um, I like the I like to understand like the technical side of stuff, like what makes the camera, or what makes a piece of gear the gear. But yeah, I've also been watching, strangely enough, a lot of Pokemon creators lately because I got back into like the Pokemon TCG Pocket app, and it's kind of got me into things. Another slept on channel is Creator Dynamics. Creator Dynamics, definitely worth a look. Um, Even though he hasn't really uploaded lately, it's still like there's a lot of knowledge to be had in these videos. Um, like I'll read off some of the titles because these are like really interesting. Like, how long do creators last? Like, what is the lifespan of a creator? You know? Um, excuse me. It's like most of the creators that we know from like 10 years ago, they've moved on from what they did then. Whether they, and most of them do like, they have like podcasts now, they have like, you know, they do like group channels, I guess is the best way to put it, or they do like the more produced stuff. It's interesting to see like the pathway that a content creator takes because I mean, me personally, I again, I started out as like a St. Louis creator. I made videos about St. Louis and like I made gaming videos once upon a blue moon. Um, but now I do this. Now I'm full-time freelance video production and creative direction, and that's my thing. And then YouTube is kind of like the side hustle. But the side hustle is what made the main hustle happen. It's weird. It's a weird like chain of events because again, I didn't go to school for this stuff. I didn't go to school for video production. It's just kind of like it just really got my interest, and now I'm like really locked in on it. Um, that was a really long answer, and hopefully you're still here. But yeah, no, there are a lot of different creators that I try to look for. I also I have a channel that um, my podcast channel, I exclusively watch like channels like this, so that my algorithm, whenever I go onto there for This Isn't My Degree, I can see only creators in that niche, so I can like just learn more and also just like find those more up and coming like filmmaker style creators. You know, the ones that have like around the same audience size as me, or like, you know, they're reaching like the 20, 30, 50K mark. Um, Not quite play button. So that's kind of where that's the algorithm for that one. So yeah, okay. And thank you for bringing up some questions and comments in the chat, guys. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Do you feel that many creators in the finance space are transitioning into? Oh, yeah. Okay. I have a very interesting take on because I see this a lot, and this has been plaguing like my Instagram feed, for example, of videographers, creative directors, creative producers, video producers. These people making these master classes, um, and then they promote them. They're like, one of my clients now gets, you know, like 10K a month from 5 different clients, and they have a sales funnel and all that kind of stuff. And I'm always very skeptical to believe that stuff because I know firsthand, and I mean, maybe I'm just doing this wrong, but whenever you're like a solo entrepreneur, like you do have to find time to make new business. Or like if you need to have time to like find new clients, you need to have time to work on your portfolio, and I believe in like a 50-50 split. Um 50-50 split in like using your time to service your current clients and then use that other 50 to find new clients or touch base with your previous ones. I believe in a 50-50. And I don't know, it's just trying to find new business. I don't know. So whenever I see those classes, whenever I see those, I'm always so skeptical because I'm like, how do you have time to Especially because like some of these, like I really look in the background. So like some of these people, legit, like they've been doing this for over a decade. You can see their work. You can see them real time on the sets. You can see their production. Like there's no denying that that's what they do. But some of them, I'm like, this is a new page. I've never seen your stuff before. Your website's brand new, yet you're claiming that you have clients that are making, like 100K a month in retainers. How's that possible? You know, I gotta see the resume. I gotta see the stuff that goes into it. I'm sorry, I'm watching my cat because I think he sees some reflection and he's like ready to jump on the blinds and he's locked in. So I'm keeping an eye on him. But yeah, no, that's kind of my take. Um, I'm skeptical of some of those people, but some of them I do the research and they're legit. That's about it. I mean, it's not like I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Um, but I do think, and I mean, obviously, I'm a huge advocate for like if you learn stuff and you want to share it with people, do so. Shoot, I mean, that's what my channel's about right now. Like I was talking earlier in the live, I was talking about how like I didn't go to school for video production, I didn't go to school for photo, I didn't go to school for editing. I didn't learn any of this in school. The closest I got to a camera in my graphic design program was picking up something from 2006. It was like a Nikon Coolpix and taking photos of my 3D design project. That was as close as I got to a camera. I never learned anything about aperture, shutter speed, all this stuff. I never learned that. Couldn't tell you the difference between like an MP4 and an MOV file. I couldn't tell you any of that. I wouldn't even know there was a difference. So yeah, I try to teach people how to do this stuff. And again, like that in my recent Porsche video, I was like, let me just spit how I did it. Like let me just show you how I got all of these different skills and what I use to get to this point. Um, yeah. So long story short, that's kind of how I'm feeling about the some of those business gurus out there. Because just do your research on where the info's coming from. Like, make sure it's real and make sure it checks out because that's my 2 cents. Coffee's still amazing. This latte is great. It's like the perfect balance of. I just balanced it perfectly. I made it like a hazelnut mocha vibe today. So yeah, fire. Double espresso is definitely the way to go. Especially because like the thing I love about going on trips and like going on these brand trips is like they're fun, they're great, but now I have to get all the editing and stuff caught up today because I know that I'm gonna be busy until like Monday night. So yeah. It's the perk of being a one-man show. Yeah. I mean, I have a team of people that like help me do things like edits. Like we're all so booked and busy. It's crazy. So, yeah. I think we'll probably wrap here in a few because I do need to get ready for an 11 a.m. meeting. I got a few minutes. It's 10:53. I'm in Central Time, based in St. Louis, the good old gateway to the West. Oh, here we go. Another question. Analyze and educate. Thank you for the questions. Have you felt that your fame has increased since this journey began? Fame is such a strong word. um, I would say. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and like try to like lie and be like, oh yeah, like nothing. Like there are times when I'll go to a coffee shop or something locally. And people will be like, "Oh, you're the guy that makes the YouTube stuff. That like you've been like places in St. Louis and like you make the vlogs, right?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that people were familiar with my game." And I think it's more so from Instagram. People don't really watch the YouTube stuff from Instagram, but they see the Instagram and they know that I'm on YouTube. So I've definitely had moments where people are like, "Yo, like I know who you are." But I mean, I think that just comes with excuse me. Now I'm starting to get, now I'm starting to get the congestion back. But it's like with being a hyper local creator, like it's easy, especially in a city like St. Louis. Like again, it's home. I love it here, but St. Louis is definitely a very small and tight knit community, and there are not many people doing what I do. And it's been that way for years. Even whenever that was like the main focus of my content. Like they knew me as the St. Louis YouTuber, and I'm like, it always felt weird to me. I'm gonna be honest because I'm I always had such a small platform back then. Like back then, my platform was maybe like 1,000, 2,000 subs, and I had like maybe 3K on Instagram. So it always felt weird when people would label me as like this YouTuber because I'm like, I don't have a play button. I was pulling like maybe I was pulling less than like 50 views a video. I'm like, I don't feel like I've earned that title. Um, but in a city like St. Louis, where there's not a lot of people doing it, it's easy to get recognition for something because you're doing something different. And doing YouTube and doing video production was something different at the time. And it still kind of is. Like, I can name maybe at least creators that are left in St. Louis that haven't left for like LA or New York. I can name in like just less than 10 people. I'm not even joking. Um, but yeah, and like fame because you work with people that have 2 million subs and never heard of them. There are a lot of large scale creators that I've never heard of too. Um, like I remember distinctly watching the YouTube Rewind back in like 2019, and I'm like, these people have like 15 million subs. I've never seen a piece of their content in my life. It's interesting. Internet fame is definitely different than like real life, like you're a household name fame. And I feel like for YouTubers, you got to do something different. Like you have to move differently to break through that. Like as an example, I mean, like obviously Mr. Beast, he's like reached like the household name level of fame, because he's got like an Amazon Prime TV show. He's got like 300 million subs, and even before that, even like a third of that, he was still a household name. It's like I don't know. It's interesting how online fame and like YouTube fame is different from like real fame. And it's I don't know. That I feel like that needs to be a whole video in itself. Cuz I could ramble on about that for the next like 20 minutes easy. Like unfiltered, unedited. Um but back to like the whole fame thing locally. I would say yeah. I would say it's increased since the journey began because I was just doing something different, and that's how I built the audience. That's how I built the platform, and that's how I got the views. That's how, from a fundamental level, that's how the YouTube and like influencer game works. Is like you do things and you build a reputation. Especially like since I do video production and stuff, and now I'm making videos teaching people how to do this. Um, I mean, I have the resume to back up everything I'm talking about. Like I do work with national corporate clients. My resume literally does say Porsche and Ferrari on it. I still have business cards from there. Um, yeah, I mean it's I think it's just more so about what you do rather than like your subscriber count. It's more about like making a change, like making a splash. I'm actually gonna message um, my 11 a.m. and I'm just gonna be like, yo, can we like push back a little bit? Let me go to my calendar. Oh, actually, we're good for a little bit. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. I'll chill for a little bit. Because this is stuff I'm passionate about and I love talking about. I had a client try to pay me in shout outs. What? Yo, okay. Okay. Um, I feel a way about that. They had 700K followers but couldn't afford a $1,500 bill. That is interesting. Because here's how I see shout outs. And I don't know if you're gonna agree with me on this. I don't know how you're gonna feel about what I'm about to say. But I think shout outs and free work should be done on a case by case basis. Like, and hear me out. If it makes sense, and by makes sense, I mean like, I'll throw an example out there. Like, let's say you are a food creator. Let's say you're a food creator, like you're a chef, and you get the opportunity to work with a like somebody that critiques food or something, you know, and they have an audience of like 10 million followers or something, or like let's just just for the sake of this, let's say like 500K. Let's drop it to 500K. A very active, engaged audience, and you know that there are people and brands watching their content. It might be worth considering doing that. And then while you're doing the video collab, get your own angle on things, get your own content, get your own behind the scenes, get your own stuff to promo, and get value out of it. I think, um, obviously, we got to pay bills. Like that's real. I don't often say yes to trade agreements anymore simply because like I've got so many things on my plate. I'm like, listen, if we don't have a budget, I don't know if I can make it work because if I got to bring the team in on this and they got to get paid, I can't pay them in shout outs. So we got to make something work. Um, I think it's definitely a case by case basis because I've done some collab work that's really paid off. Like, for example, I'll give you a prime example actually. On my podcast, I remember whenever Darius Cooks came to St. Louis, and I was like, yo, I just sent him a cold DM and I was like, yo, let's do a podcast episode. I'll take you to this really cool restaurant. I'll show you what the St. Louis food scene is really about because he wasn't saying some very well received things by the public. Um, but yeah, it I was like, I don't expect any payment for like doing the video production. Like I'm just gonna give you the deliverables. I'll make the long form podcast. It'll be free. Like you don't have to pay anything for the meal. You just have to show up. And that's my most viewed podcast episode. And I still get comments. I still get subs. I still get views to that on this day. Like I still get that stuff. Um, or like there have been times whenever I've done work with um, businesses and organizations in the city, and sometimes it's just like oh yeah, I'll cover you for now. Like it's just a small commercial shoot. Or like restaurants, I do a lot of trade agreements with because I know that the margins aren't very high anyways. And sometimes it's just kind of like I like to help out restaurants, because right now, especially a lot of the headlines in St. Louis, a lot of restaurants are closing left and right. So I try to like do something every now and then. And I'm also friends with a lot of restaurant owners, but then they'll see that work and they'll be like, other people will see the work, and then I'll get DMs and emails like, yo, like I've got this, consulting business. I've got this construction company. I've got this. Can you do video production for that? Or like they'll even see my podcast, which I'm making nothing on. I lose money on the podcast. I haven't made a single penny from it, but they'll see my podcast and they'll be like, I see that you make a podcast and I see that you're on one. Can you help me make one? I'll be honest, all the calls I've had that are like discovery calls in the past 2 weeks have been people asking me to make podcasts for them. Like, so again, definitely case by case basis. Free work should be considered, trade agreements should be considered, pending that the value is worth it. And it brings you something else that's different. Not just like, oh, I just want to give you a shout out. Like, if they try to sell you on the shout out, it's not worth it. It's not worth it at that point because if they have to convince you that the shout out is worth it, it's not worth it. Because then they're gonna be like, oh well, like all my people are so like, I have 500K followers and like, you know, I've got all these people that follow me and they watch my stuff. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, I know some people that have 1 million followers, but can't sell tickets to anything. I know people that have 3 million followers that can't sell a product. It's like it's definitely on a case by case basis, you know? And that's why I always say like follower count does not equal influence. Like it does not, man. It does not. Um, and it's like it's like I don't know. I've come to realize it because like I literally have, I think at the time of this, whenever I went live, I was at like 7,700 subs, and I have like 5K on Instagram, but I can still go to a coffee shop and get recognized. You know, like that, and I'm not saying that's just to try to be like, oh, I'm Mr. Big Head, Big Shot. Like, no, I'm not. I'm just some guy with a camera that edits at the end of the day. But if I can be recognized with that tiny of an audience, I mean, influence and follower count are not equal. And I look forward to seeing that DM because I do want to see the I want to see the full context of that situation because yeah. Yeah. Vanity metrics don't translate to cash conversion. That's so true. And that's literally like I'm not even going to lie to you. That's what I tell people in my discovery calls is I'm like if you want the vanity metrics, if you want, you know, the likes and the shares and the virality, I'm not the person to go with. I make content that produces results. And if you want viral content, I can do that for you. Like if that's the results you want, then cool. But me personally, I'd much rather have conversions. I'd much rather have sales. I'd much rather have, you know, building loyalty with people and like building that relationship with people. I'd much rather have that personally. I don't really care for the likes and shares and all that stuff. Like it's nice. It does make things easier. Like I'd be lying if I said, you know, having a bunch of subs or followers, you know, doesn't make it easier to get deals. Like I've lost out to some deals to people that have a lot more followers than me. Simply because of followers. I'm not even joking. Like um there are a lot of talented people here in St. Louis doing video production now. Like I could name probably like a solid 5 entities that are here in the city doing the same thing that not the same thing that I'm doing, but they're in the same niche and field, but they have more followers and I've lost out to some deals just because of that. Just because of that. And it's like at the end of the day, people want what people want and I'm just here to make cool stuff. Um, you did a consult for a woman who made 1.3 million a year with about 500 followers through listen. I would love to know more about that because that is fascinating. But you know what? I know people, yeah, I know people kind of not of that magnitude of revenue, but I do know people that have built, you know, like 6-figure businesses with like 500 followers. Like at one of my friends, she runs a social media agency and she breaks into that with like 700 followers. It's kind of fascinating. But again, it's like the follower count is not indicative of your influence and your impact. It's not. Like it's insane, dude. It's crazy. But like it's still something that people are warming up to. I think we're starting to see the shift though. I think we're starting to see the shift um, of people realizing that because it used to be like you used to see follower count and a blue check mark, and immediately like your notoriety went up. But now I think people are starting to see through it, and it's fascinating to see that shift. I vibe with it. Um, if you want to make 100K a year, you need to convince 10 people to give you 10K. Two thoughts just went through my head. One, I agree, because it is that simple, but at the same time, it's not that simple. It's more so about how, like, for any beginners that might watch this, it's more so about finding those people that see the value in what you do too. And it's like some people are going to take more convincing than others. Other people, you're simply not going to be able to convince them, just being totally real. Um, like I've told some people like here's some of the results that I've driven for clients using content creation. Here's some of the results that I've produced for clients. And they're like, "But like how many followers do you have?" And I'm like, okay, we're not in the same place. Like our minds are not in the same place. Um, but yes, I agree. Um, Definitely for beginners, I encourage you to reach out to your local agencies. Um, it's important to have some type of funnel that gives you work, um, so that you're not stressing about funds in the beginning. Because like whenever I first started, I quit my job, and looking back on it, I'm like, I really shouldn't have done it. I quit my job with, I think it was like 1,500 in my bank account, and I had paid up my rent for like a few months, so that I wouldn't have to worry about my biggest expense. Um, so I was like, okay, I can make this work. But then, I started stressing about money towards the winter time because also I didn't know how slow video production is during the winter. Um, this is my first time doing it full time, so like I had no idea what I was getting into. But yeah, just like starting out, it was rough. Um, it was crazy. It was wild. It was a time. I remember sitting and I was like, my rent's due in 3 days and I don't know how I'm gonna pay it. I remember that video. And I think that's in a video that I put out after my first year of video production. Um, but yeah, I during that time I realized that I needed to find like an agency partner, or I found like a few businesses that were like retainers, but like they weren't just like a client. They were like, hey, I've got this person that needs this. Can you do this for them? Hey, I've got this person that needs a commercial. Can you do this? Hey, this person just needs like some social media reels. Can you do this for them? Like I had a funnel. So there was somebody like white labeling my services, and then they would just like funnel me work. So I feel like that was a very all over the place conversation topic, but that's just my advice to beginners is find somebody that can funnel you work, and then that's how you build your portfolio, that's how you build your reputation, build your authority, build your trust, build that loyalty, and then you can start scaling and scaling and scaling, and then you'll reach that level of client. Yeah, you'll reach that level. It'll happen. I mean, it'll happen as long as you just apply. It is if you just go into it thinking that like the time that you put into this is going to if you think that like the time and the tenure of your like existence in the video production space is going to um like how do I put this? Time doesn't equal how much you get paid. Like I know some people that broke out in their first year of business doing like six figures. And I know some people that it's taken them like, and I know some people have been doing this for as long as I have, but they've built like full production companies, like full companies, like they have teams, full-time salaried, benefited employees. Um, yeah, it's time does not equal that. You gotta like apply it correctly and apply yourself correctly. Do that, please. Thank you. I'm trying to crush the Q&A. I'm like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm getting more and more nasally by the minute. Because I've been sick. I'm still kind of sick. And that's why, like, honestly, this and editing is the only thing on my agenda for today. Why am I hitting puberty right now? This is the only thing on my agenda for today. Because I got to get better so I can do this freaking trip tomorrow. Because I got to be on camera. And as we all know, you got to have like a certain presence on camera. You got to be ready. I'm very candid about this stuff. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, you need to be this," and like, I'm not gonna try to fake it for the camera. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be me. You know. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. Oh man, I feel the congestion happening. I do have this, which I just eyeballed it. It's like the eye mask that does like the massage and the heat. I'm definitely gonna be using this. I'll probably listen to a podcast or something. I've been listening to Colin and Samir's podcast a lot lately, catching up on episodes because I'm not a big podcast listener. I know that that's weird to say coming from somebody that has a podcast, but I'm not that big of a podcast listener. Um, I don't know. It just hasn't ever done it for me. Because also sometimes I just like to like listen to music and just like turn my brain off. just vibe, you know? But then the music, I'm one of those people. This is how I know I'm like chronically involved in like being a creative. Is sometimes I'll think about, ooh, maybe I could shoot this video and I could do it to a similar type track to this, and then or if I was shooting a music video for this song, what would it look like? And then I like start visualizing it, and then I'll like start skipping around and stuff. I'm one of those people. I've become chronically invested in this stuff, so it's pretty insane. But yeah, holy crap, it's 11:15. Let me make sure I'm still good with my client. And then yes, I see your DM. I see some emails. I see Amazon sending me notifications. I see somebody misspelling my name in a email. Um, what? I see comments on Instagram. Man, it's that kind of stuff. So, all right, guys. I think I'm gonna head off. I think I'm gonna finish this coffee, and I think I'm gonna take some Dayquil, and I think I'm gonna try power through some editing. So, this has been the very first episode of the Content Creator Office Hours, and I will try to make this a weekly thing. I was gonna make it yesterday, Wednesday thing, but I just was not feeling well at all. I think I'm gonna go put on this eye mask, get some Dayquil, and then try to flush this out of my head so that I can feel better. So that I can feel better. It'll be nice. So, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna make this a weekly thing where we can just come kick it, chill, and also just do more Q&As with hopefully each other too, because I'd like to get conversations going in the chat while I'm kind of just yapping my thoughts. So, all right, y'all. I will post this for people to see in the future. And again, if you're new around here, hit subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment, check out some of the recent content, and let me know what you think, because I'm going to be MIA on YouTube for the next like week probably, because I'll be focused on the Instagram and filming behind the scenes. So yeah. So with that said, thank you all for tuning in. I am going to grab this little eye mask. Hopefully it can massage the mucus out of my head. And again, I'll check out the DM because I do want to see. I want to see. I want to see what you're talking about, because that all your stories are super interesting, and we need to catch up anyways. So I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. And now for this awkward part where I end the live and I gotta stare at you like this.